To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
When I was in my 23-year-long awkward phase, I would be the girl that was constantly designated to go get ice at parties when we ran out. Even though I could not drive, and I still cannot. I always went, though. It always took a long time because I didn't drive. Just get there and get the ice and come back before it would melt. It was
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
So I've always been the fat friend in the group. Go figure. So one thing I've always noticed with having friends that are not as big as me or not as fat actually is that when guys approach us, they tend to always almost want to start the conversation off with me, almost expecting me to just be welcoming and open, as if I'm just sitting there waiting for them to give me some inclinage of attention. And by them coming to me and talking to me, they will eventually make their way to my friends that they actually want to talk to. This is actually something that I've been picking up, and I did actually mention it to one of my friends, and then she was almost shocked that I had a problem with that. So it's almost like guys feel more comfortable talking to us bigger girls because they automatically assume that we're just waiting for them to give us some type of attention because what society told us that we're not pretty enough, we're not beautiful enough, we're not hot enough.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening thing?
When people are like, you just do your own thing, don't you? You just don't care. You know, some people might find it weird or ugly or unattractive, but you just don't. I love that about you.
To all my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening?
I'm going to preface this by saying I don't think I'm ugly. I just have ethnic features that are not trendy in the West. My first year university, I shared a building with some of these very stereotypical dude bro frat boys, and I became friends with this girl who liked to hang around these dudes who weren't very nice to her. As I said before, my face isn't really up to code when it comes to Western beauty standards, and also, like, I'm fat, so very undateable to these dudes. And some of them made it very apparent that I was lucky to be in the same space as them because I'm just so ugly and so disgusting. And I do specifically remember that if someone did show an interest in me, it was a joke. It wasn't really disheartening, it was more so enlightening because to me, these men are telling me that human decency is only afforded to those they find attractive. And also, if this happens to you, you tell them about themselves and hurt their feelings.
All my conventionally unattractive girlies out there, what is the most disheartening thing?
Before I had children, I was at a dance bar with three of my friends. A group of four dudes came up, and they were all semi-attractive. Just dance partners. You don't really care, especially when you're single. It's just fun to dance with a partner. So the three guys asked my three friends to go dance. They're already out there, and I'm like sitting there awkwardly, and the guy looks at me, and I was like, "Oh, do you want to dance?" And he looked me up and down and said, "It's nothing against you. I just don't like fat chicks." So I said, "So it's literally against me. You don't even want to dance with one." He goes, "I won't go home with any good-looking girls if they see me dancing with ugly girls because they'll think I have bad taste. So that's why I don't want to dance with you. I'm sorry." I told him point blank that the reason he wasn't getting the pretty girls is because we can sense at the end of the day who's a shithead.
Thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you attractive.
Oh my god, the responses to this are all correct. And I have experienced all of them, like dudes ignoring you, talking over you, insulting you, making it clear that they don't give a shit about your safety, every bit of that. But what makes it even more wild is that I would say that about a third of those guys, after doing all of that bullshit in front of their bros to make it clear that they're not attracted to you, will then find you in private or slide into your DMs and try to hook up. Because something that we don't talk about enough is that oftentimes when it comes to anti-fat bias, it is performative because it's not only socially acceptable, but it's encouraged and it can be a way of bonding between men. So men especially will often use fat phobia as a mechanism to gain social capital, regardless of whether or not they are actually attracted to fat people.